Hello, hello, hi there. How are you doing today? This is Anna Stropnik coming to you live from Fort Lauderdale. What's going on? It's Wednesday. What are you guys doing? If you're just coming on and watching this live, you can say hi, or if you're watching it on replay, same thing. I would love to give you a shout out. So today we're going to be talking about how to build your business around the busiest schedules. This question popped up in one of the groups that I'm a member of, and there was like really lots of interest because that's the question that lots of people have, is how you can do it if you have a full-time job and it doesn't allow you like any time to do anything else while you're working, and then on top of that you have a family and just a busy life. So sorry about that. So anyway, so that's what we're going to be talking about. And if this is the first time you're watching any of my videos, my name is Anna Stropnik. I help people get healthy, live longer, have more energy, sleep better, have less pain. I also help them reach their time and financial freedom. So the question for you is, would you like to know how to build your business around the busiest schedule? If you feel like you don't have time, maybe if you're in the business, or if you're thinking about joining a business but you just think you do not have time for it. So let's talk about it. So basically nobody has spare time, so we all have the same hours in a day. It's just a matter of how we spend that time. So everyone thinks they will like need extra time, or like be home and do this full time, and because they have a job or a family, this is not something for them. Totally wrong. When this opportunity came to me, I was on a full-time job, 9 to 5. I also had two side jobs, one that I was working on a weekend that I actually still do, and the other one was just like a project that I was working on at nights when my son goes to sleep. So I was super busy, and it was really a question that I had too. I said yes to the opportunity because I always do. I say yes to something and then I figure out how to do it. I learned later that that's the best way to do it, because if you just jump into something and figure it out on the way, it's the best way to go. Because if you're overthinking on something, usually the opportunity will pass you by. So don't be that guy, right? And I found ways, I will talk about this in this live video, how you can build a business around your busy schedule. So so yeah, the illusion is really that you need to be committed full time, that you need to quit your job and do this full time, otherwise it's not for you. It's a total illusion, because nobody does that. It's not normal to do it. Usually people, everyone who is successful and who's been doing this, they will tell you their stories. They have been building around their schedules, around their daily schedules, the necks and crannies of their day, and they built really successful businesses like that. So I'll tell you just two examples. Two of the main leaders in my company, they're both from Jacksonville. Gabe, he was a fitness trainer, and when he got introduced into this business, he owned like 6 gyms in the area, and his schedule was like he would wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning and drive around from this gym to that gym, and then his day would finish at like 9, 10 o'clock. And he was the same. He was struggling. It was 2008, 2009, like when the economy was struggling as well. And he wanted to do it, but he didn't know how. So thankfully, somebody really smart like talked to him and asked him, okay, so what do you do when you're like in a rush hour in traffic, like 8, 9 o'clock in the morning? What are you doing at 8 o'clock? Oh, I'm driving from this gym to that gym. And it's okay, so in this traffic, how long does it take you to get from point A to point B? And he's like, oh, about like 40, 45 minutes. So see, you have 40, 45 minutes. Can you imagine how many like quick phone calls can you make in that time? I mean, if you only make like 5, 10, isn't that amazing? Isn't that huge? And that's how he built his business. And he was like, a light bulb hit. He actually built his business. He was calling people from his car while he was driving from gym to gym on his work. Another person that actually partnered with him, her name is Donna Digan, and she was a famous radio journalist, right? So the same thing happened at her job, and she was already working, and you know how it happens when economy is bad. You're just getting like cut down, that you're basically working for 2, 3 people at a time, and you're just having less and less time, and you are not making any more money, or even like taking pay cut after pay cut, just because, you know, economy is bad, and you understand, you know, like we have to do these things. So she had on her schedule, she had 1 hour, 1 hour in the evening that she could go home, which was her like dinner break, that she could go home and spend time with her kids. And they called her in one day and asked her if she can give that up. And she was already involved in a home-based business, but wasn't really taking it seriously. She was in it for more for the product, but then like that was the last straw, that she was like, oh my God, no way. She went in and like stood up for herself and said, no way, you know, like whatever happens, no way I'm going to be giving up the only hour I spend with my kids. So that's what she did. Thankfully, she didn't lose the job, but then she made a decision that she will find time in between her schedule and breaks, lunch breaks, before work, after work, on a weekends, to actually build this business, and she succeeded in that as well. Also, like people who asked this question in a group, there was lots of responses, and it's still a very active thread, and people are just giving examples on what they do, and how most of us start working a full-time job, and this is just a side business that we are building. So they were just giving like examples on what they do. So also, some people think, you know, oh, you know, we made like a little bit of success, let's just quit our job and just like do this full time. You know, more time I have, more productive I will be. But it's like wrong. You know, lots of people find themselves, if they quit their job, their full-time job too soon, they'll find themselves in a situation where their team is not at that level yet, and they will be like confused, and they're like, oh, you know, but now I'm like, I have all this time, but everybody else is working, and they haven't made a success yet, and it can be kind of like a wrong decision. Like the time to quit your full-time job is really the time when your job is really taking up too much of your time, and you're losing money staying on it. So that's the only reason why you would actually want to quit your job. It's like if your home-based business is growing to that level, that you're losing money for working your full-time job. So stick with it. So I'll just give you some examples of what people do. So I do this as well. So one guy said in there, he's in the Navy, and his hours are crazy. So he's like, you know, I wake up 1 hour before I need to wake up every morning. For him, that's 4 a.m. Would you wake up at 4 a.m.? I mean, if it's something that you absolutely want to do, and you want to see the change in your life, if you're so determined to do it, you would do it. I wake up at 5:30 because that's 1 hour before my time. So it really helps out a lot to have that 1 hour to get prepared for the day, and then go on with your work and with all the obligations that you have throughout the day. So that's a really great tip. So he will, like, you know, he'll prepare, for example, his post that he's going to post on social media for the day, or whatever it is. So yeah, that totally helps a lot, like waking up 1 hour early and preparing for the day. I write in my journal, I do my affirmations. There's just so much that you can do in that hour to get you started right for the day. So another tip, when you are working your job in the office, use up all your breaks, lunch breaks, like 15-minute breaks, restroom breaks, and do, send a few messages, make a few phone calls. I have friends that spend every single lunch in their car, either making live videos or sending messages or following up. It's all going to be worth it. It's just you deciding to do it, and it will pay off. It's all this hard work will pay off for generations later. So that's why we do it. Then also schedule hour to do things. So for example, like when you have break down your day. For example, I have in between 5 and 7 every day is when I pick up my son, and before I have to either take him to the playground or before it's bedtime and bath time, I have those 2 hours when I work my business. So it's only 2 hours of real total focus on my business, and the rest I fit it in different areas of the day, in different breaks that I get. Also get help if you feel. I feel that, especially for one thing, for cleaning the house. If you feel that's taking up too much of your time, where you could be paying someone else to do it, and if you can be productive in that time instead, just do it. Get somebody to clean your house, to do your yard work, to I don't know, do little repairs on the house. There's just so many things that are somebody else can do it. Go shopping, just think about, take the inventory of your day and think if there's something that you can replace, and if you can pay somebody else to do it, would that be beneficial? Would you be more productive in that time? I find when I'm cleaning the house, which is something that I'm using the word hate here, I actually listen to self-development books or courses or events, live events, anything like that, and this is really my time when I do that. So it's been working out so far, but next rank I hit housekeeper. So definitely. Okay, let's see, what's the next tip? Get rid of your time wasters. So we sometimes think, oh, I'm going to be building my business on social media, I'm going to be working on Facebook, and then we spend hours and hours and hours on Facebook, but we are not being productive and we are not being strategic. That's the better word. So what do I mean by that? I build mostly on social media because I work from home, but if we're just spending too much time just scrolling down our wall and liking this and liking that and getting lost in the content without actually strategically going on there, knowing what you're supposed to be doing, it can be you spend all day or 6-7 hours on Facebook without being productive. There are ways to be productive on your social media as well. The same thing, other time wasters. It could be watching TV, watching too much TV. I mean, a little bit, of course, but we don't need to be watching Netflix series. Record them for later when you'll have all the time freedom to catch up on that. What's another one? That's something that's the only ones I can think of. But I'm sure, we all can think of different time wasters that are time wasters for us. Decide that you're going to do it and start right now. So if that's something that you want to do, if it's either joining the company, if it's deciding if you already are a member of the company but you just haven't taken it seriously. Decide right now you're going to take it seriously and you're going to start working on it. So enough with excuses. Excuses are not going to take you anywhere. More likely it's going to be a step back. So give up all your excuses and start today. And then another tip that I have for you is also it helps to schedule what you're going to do the day before. So like at night before you go to sleep, make a schedule. Okay, this is what I'm doing at that time. I have this meeting, then I'm gonna whatever it is. It's always good. I'm gonna call this so and so and so and so at this time. It always helps when you can do that, and then your next day is not going to be so stressful when you don't know what you're supposed to do next. So I hope this was helpful, and if you have any additional questions, please feel free to comment, message me. I would love to chat, and I will see you again tomorrow. Thanks for watching.